Hey peeps, welcome back to a special continuation of our previous episode. We talked so much we had to split it up. So if you haven't listened to the previous, go ahead and check that out. If you're all caught up, then you may proceed.
I wanted to do something for Valentine's Day, but Valentine's Day was last month. Currently this month, but last month when this is released. Actually, how long is yours?
As long as we want to make it.
Gotcha.
Nacho Bell's trying to get me a Nacho Bell sandwich, man, and these motherfuckers said pew pew, and now they got all the wee-woos out there. Look at all the wee-woos. I'm just trying to get a goddamn Nacho Bell grande. Them motherfuckers pew pew with the wee-woos. Get the wee-woos. Get all them wee-woos.
Get the wee-woos.
Is he playing it up? I feel like he's playing it up.
I looked at his channel.
He's like that?
He's got some things going on.
All right, so
he's a comedian, I guess.
One of the last podcasts that Brian, sorry, Lonnie.
Brian.
Sorry, AJ.
Get it right.
They don't call me Aaron.
What's going on? What's this now?
He did who and what now?
When I was done drinking, I was trying to get the men.
Oh, yeah.
The man for what?
The men.
To do what?
So when I go in the room and then
But how you go in the private room? You have to go back there in the private room and push the...
No,
You been trying to see some titties.
I'm trying to go
You
and...
been trying to see some goddamn titties.
No, with that... The man, the fighting
Busted.
man. I went in there. I'm trying to go...
You sound like a nigga that's cheating.
I'm trying to go and
That's my
sit
favorite
there,
part.
and then I'm going to come back out, and he's going to try to fight
Casey, you
me.
was trying to see some titties.
No.
Then why you got this girl on screen?
Well, I can't get it off. I don't know. I'm trying to get...
So the story is this little kid is playing like what, GTA or something like that, and is doing a private dance. And, and it shows this stuff, and Papa caught him. Busted. Anyways, so one of the last podcasts that we were doing with Brian on the podcast, he brought something up, and I wanted to elaborate a little bit more about that when we were talking about souls-ish, and we were talking about like consciousness.
Yeah.
So I had a topic for Valentine's Day, even though that's long past. This is still kind of a relevant. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way, guys.
Happy Valentine's
I hope your
Day.
Valentine's Day was good.
I hate Valentine's
We didn't do anything.
I don't acknowledge that holiday.
Yeah.
So what is the soulmate?
I actually went with
wait.
my soulmate on Valentine's Day. Me and Brian went and saw Madam Web.
Nice.
His Jen was working,
Oh,
and that movie sucked. Like it has potential. It's out there.
Brian's wife, Jenny.
Jedi.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Jedi.
That threw me off when they all went like British. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Why is everybody speaking with an accent?
I like accents. Oh, at this party?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. That girl's fucking weird.
And boy, is she crazy.
Yeah, and
We were like Snapchat friends, and I had to like delete her because she 0 to 10, and I'm like, I don't need this in my life.
I don't
at
know.
all.
I don't know how far Brian was, as far as like what he
Inebriation.
Yes, but I can see it on his face where he was like he had enough of it, and it just started.
I mean, that girl didn't talk in her normal voice at all.
She did not. She committed to the bit the entire time.
whole
Like the
time.
3-4 hours that we were over at Brian's place, this chick was talking in an
She
accent.
was one of the last to leave, and it was like a full 9-hour commitment.
He's like, Jen, when is your friend leaving?
I don't think he said that, but I mean, I could see him saying that. Brian, let us know what you said.
Well, that is not his soulmate.
No,
This
I'm his soulmate.
True. Okay.
Facts.
What is a soulmate, guys?
Somebody you're destined to be around for your life.
Nice. I don't believe in souls, so.
Same.
I'm
probably with you.
It really has anything to do with
But
soul.
I like to use the word
It's a term.
soulmate.
I mean,
For certain things.
Soul is a convenient
Soul
term
is the
for
barometer
people who
foot.
don't understand the concept of energy.
Okay.
So,
Would you group energy with soulmate?
Kinda. Webster says it's a person of whom one has a feeling of deep or natural affinity.
Yes.
I could say that about my fucking
Xbox.
garbage man.
I have a
This may involve similarity, love, a romantic or platonic relationship, comfort, intimacy, sexual. Yeah.
We'll move
Could be
into some of that.
anything.
So soulmate, The definition I have here is very similar to that. Person ideally suited to another as a close friend or romantic partner. The definition of mate, though, a fellow member or joint occupant of a specified thing.
Slang.
Our
or
British
also-
English
yeah.
slang. Like, hello, mate.
Hello, mate.
I study all your moves.
Oh, great. Now we're back to the British thing.
I was doing the Australian.
Foster's.
I studied
Australian
all
for
your
beer.
moves. We're going to rob a bank.
We're going to rob a bank.
Are you making fun of my accent?
You can also use the word mate for like as a verb. So it can be like breeding. Like, look at those dogs mating over there. Look at that guy.
Look at those twins that are related mating.
Yeah. Twincest.
Hey, bruv, look at those mates.
That's fine, in it. So a
I
definition
beat
of
my mate.
no. Well, I guess you could, but that's not what.
If my hand was my sister, they would be your mates.
Well, palm to palm kiss is no, whatever. So soul, it's a spiritual or immaterial part of a human being or
Bottom of the
animal
foot.
regarded as immortal, or a person's moral or emotional nature or sense of identity. I don't know exactly what Brian was going to, but I feel like his definition might be more with sense of identity. Maybe he might be believing in like energy or whatever, but I can see certain things where people are like, oh, you get, like soul in your voice. You can use things like that. It's like, that's more of like an emotional thing or an intellectual.
Brian McKnight. That guy has soul for
Yeah.
It's undeniable.
What?
Do I ever cross your... I like how we went different songs there.
That was good. It was kind of, what did
You
they call
went the
that?
song he got an idea by reading the back of a detergent bottle.
Really?
Yeah. One.
Because
it's like
of
a dream
steps.
country. Yeah, the steps.
Okay.
He got that idea. Real story.
Really?
Dumb, but real story.
That is dumb.
I'll be dropping more panties than when Mr. Bean worked at Victoria's Secret.
So, soul, again,
It's dumb.
especially revealed in a work of art or artistic performance. Like their interpretation was soulful. It could be
I'm doing
something
an
like that.
experiment while you do this. Twincest.
The essence or embodiment of a
You
specific
better be doing
specified
that in
quality.
incognito mode.
Oh, I'm doing it on Pornhub.
Oh, that's cute. So yeah, a soul is often understood as the immaterial essence of eternal aspect of a living being. It is believed to be the core or essence of a person that transcends the physical body. The concept of a soul is deeply rooted in religious, spiritual, or philosophical traditions. So most people use
Harry
this.
Pitt, gross.
What's up?
Sorry, it asked me if I meant tiniest.
Do they have like the
But there's a girl with hairy armpits on here. as well.
jutted jaws of a product of an incested child?
Tiniest cut cock.
We're at the wrong thing there. Yeah, again, I'm with Lonnie here. I don't necessarily have a belief in a soul. I don't
I'm
think we
wiping my
have
computer now.
this energy that is
Yeah.
undetected. It's like, how do you find it? There's
Where does
certain-
it go? How does it come out? Where? Yeah, I get it.
There's certain depictions of soulmates that I kind of want to discuss. So you made mention of a few of them. There's the romantic one, which is probably the most popular one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's usually intense or unbreakable connection between romantic partners who understand each other.
People that like to fuck hard.
Yes. Or an otherwise
Horde.
perfect relationship
This
where they
motherfucker's
believe
dick is hard.
horde.
Still one of our best improvs.
So yeah, a perfect relationship between people. I used to use this because I didn't necessarily have the understanding, or I didn't consider what it meant way back when. Like when I was in middle school, high school, or whatever, dating the chicks back then, it's like, this is probably my soulmate. I feel like I connect with somebody.
Yeah, when you're young, you
Yeah.
think everyone's fucking soulmate. Like you're definitely dumb.
Probably right. Very retarded of me.
But there's a platonic sense how maybe you and Brian is using it like an unbreakable bond between best friends.
Yeah.
I can okay something like that. It's just a best friend. It's somebody you kind of
That's what we call our
mesh
group,
with.
the posse. It's just like our core has been together for so long. Fuck, me and Rob have been friends for 32 years at this point. Fuck, that makes me sound old. But like, I believe in that kind of a soulmate. Like you're destined to be around this person, and you guys found each other in this group of people that understand each other, that have fun with each other. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be sexual.
Right.
Although I wish it was. I mean, what?
Huh?
What?
Huh?
Huh?
Doesn't come off to me as being gay.
speak.
What?
But I also think there's a lot of young people who use this for attention too.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So
I
it's-
lost my soulmate.
So there's the karmic soulmate, or a connection that teaches important lessons and aids
Karmics?
spirit. Karmic soulmate, not karmic.
karmic. Oh.
Karmic, like a karmic.
Yeah.
Karma.
Karmic soulmate.
Yes. So it's somebody who kind of, it's like a mentor or somebody who increases your growth. I don't understand why don't they just say
like
teacher or
Mr.
mentor.
Miyagi?
Could be.
Understand?
Could be. I'd never really heard this
Ra's al
in this
Ghul?
sense. Nah.
I mean, he kind of was Batman's teacher.
Yeah,
Especially
he
if you go in
was.
especially if you go in the Nolan verse.
Yes, he was, but he's also not his.
Yeah, that's awesome. But so that's a real question, actually. I was being sarcastic, but now I'm asking a real question. Can somebody like that be somebody you hate in your life too?
Yes.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? But like somebody taught you everything you know,
and then
but you fucking can't stand that person. But
yes.
I
think that's a good
who
thing.
you are because of that person.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm
you
trying
can
to say.
like if you have a father figure who you learn lessons from as far as like what not to do. It's like, yeah, you taught me a lot of this, and I'm not going to be you.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Is that like the thing you're kind of talking about? No,
not
Fuck
really.
my
But
life.
yes, kind of.
No,
I think
not
when-
at all.
No, not at all. But yeah,
No,
kind
not
of.
at all. You're a dipshit. But anyway, moving on.
And the president will make up his mind when he's ready.
No, I think a lot of people who use like this karmic
I
soulmate
love
type
you.
thing.
Oh,
I think it's like the people who like the Deepak Chopra style who try to
fuck?
sound more
Tupac?
Deepak Chopra.
Do you need a lozenge?
That's his name.
He's always talks like this. When you use the things from the quantum level, you would integrate certain spiritual aspects of your life, which resolves around other people, individuals, and persons.
You have constants that fine-tune the universe to be what it is. You have precise laws of nature which make sense to a rational human being. So I think even from the bottom up, I'm compelled to say that there's an organizing intelligence, there's a deeper consciousness that throws out this universe at the speed of light.
It sounds like a guy I listen to on TikTok who has Down syndrome but really loves peanut butter.
You guys are talking about the same person.
Nice.
On its balls.
Well, this guy is like one of those guys who just they look at themselves as gurus who try to have like profound sense of something. Who it's like you're just mental masturbation for the most part.
Oh yeah, I gotta love them.
They need to make themselves feel special. The other type of soulmate is twin flames, two halves of the same soul destined to reunite, triggering personal growth and spiritual awakening. This could be like any of the three that I discussed earlier.
Now I believe in twin flames. That is something I do hold credence in.
Yes, I think it just depends on how you define certain things. The word soul for me it's kind of like spiritualness. It has as many definitions as there are people. It's like one person defines spirituality as this way. One person defines it this way. It's like, you guys can't, it's a shaky definition or a shaky word.
The problem with soul, and this just simply comes from a religious standpoint, to believe in a soul is to believe in an afterlife,
right?
And in a greater power. So to fully believe in that, you have to fully give yourself over to the possibility that there is life after death. And to fully know that, you can't.
That's kind of where I am coming from as well. I think I hear it more so in a religious aspect,
right?
That it's like, well, I think the whole book falls apart because I don't have a firm belief in a soul either. I think a soul is something that is supposed to have a afterlife, but I don't necessarily believe in the afterlife.
Right.
I believe once we're gone, we're gone.
Well, and it's that thing too, but we can't.
I believe hell is our life.
Right. Yeah. And then we ascend to heaven. Yeah. I think, and it's kind of redundant in the fact that you prove it to me or it doesn't exist. It's kind of the way of...
It is an assertion, and it's not proven.
Right. But if that was our method for everything, then we would have zero of the advancements we have now. We wouldn't have modern medicine. We wouldn't have, electricity. We wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for those people going, no, just fucking trust me. I'm going to do this.
There's a lot of things that are...
Oppenheimer.
Created accidentally, like Spam.
I actually never had Spam. Is it good?
I don't mind it. I like it. There's
If
a lot
it's
of people who hate
cooked,
it.
it's got to be cooked
That's what
properly.
somebody said.
It's a delicacy in Hawaii.
And Canada.
Love their
like
Spam.
and peanut butter cups.
Peanut butter cups.
What about you, peanut butter cups? I love that movie.
No, but yeah, I'm with you with that because I don't know. Again, it's still like people are like, "Don't you want to save your immortal soul?" and all this. It's like I don't believe in an immortal soul, and it's like when people come about like this, they're using abuse tactics, fear tactics to try to trick you into something that they don't even understand fully themselves.
Yeah.
They can regurgitate things, but they can't show improved things. Well, it's an assertion at that
The
point
fact
still.
of that matter in that statement is, don't you want to save your eternal soul? Well, no, Jesus already did that for us.
Yeah. Then
Jesus died so we could be assholes.
What a fucking selfish prick. Nobody asked him to do that.
And I'm also the type of person is like, if I fuck up, I want to be punished for what I do, not
Me.
I don't
That's
want
how I
somebody else to take the blunt of what I do.
Right.
This is why it is important to lead a better life.
Unless it's anal. I want that all on you.
Okay, me too. I'll second that.
Scat me, boys.
Boom. So some of the earlier stuff, let me go to mythology. So people used to believe stars in the sky were
gods,
were heroes or gods. Yeah, they could be. The brighter the star, the stronger the legacy of the hero. Like when you die, you and or your soul will become a star. People used to look at the stars and like
Wakanda forever.
ascribe names to these lights. But it's because we didn't understand things. But the further we got out, we realized certain things.
And science happened.
Yes. And science, all science is
Fucking science ruining everything.
Science.
All science is a collection of observations. We test certain things and then we can weed out the things that don't work. So we have more of a definition, or a better definition, or understanding, I should say. I have brought up Plato the Symposium a few times in this podcast, not in this episode, but yeah. You have read that, the Symposium. John, have you read the Symposium? It's a pretty good book, or story, whatever. So according to Greek mythology, humans were originally created with 4 arms and 4 legs and a head with 2 faces, fearing the power.
Two-Face?
Nice try, Two-Face, but your tricks won't work on me.
Yes. Yeah. Fearing the power, Zeus split them into 2 separate parts.
Ow, my ass.
Condemning them to spend their lives in search of their other halves.
The children of the earth, the children of the sun.
This was kind of where the soul are split. Like you have to try to find yourself together. Like we were so arrogant in the myth here. We were so arrogant that we thought we were above the gods, that Zeus was like, oh, hold down, shut the fuck up. I'm going to split us in half. And we mellowed out, as the myth says. So yeah, coming from these annoying little shits, the gods can try. Not my kids who just got back. Great timing all the time. I don't know. But yeah, like the way we were able to move around in this mythology is like we were just doing cartwheels around because we had 4 hands and 4 feet, and yeah.
Want to see me do a cartwheel?
Calm the fuck down!
So in Plato's Symposium, dinner guest takes turns telling tales of great love. So Aristophanes tells one of that everyone has someone for themselves somewhere else who completely shares their essence, with the idea that the pair share a single soul. Aristophanes speaks about how human beings were once these creatures with double the limbs, 4 arms, 4 legs, 2 faces, etc. We were male, female, and androgynous. Our form of movement was the cartwheels, etc. We were like little chihuahuas. We were just annoying little shits who had like a Napoleon syndrome, who thought we were better or bigger than what we actually were. So Zeus had enough of our arrogant antics and split us in half. The procedure calmed us the fuck down. If we didn't behave this time, we would get split again. So we would only have 1 arm, we would have to hop around, half a face, I should say. That is the mythology of kind of where soulmates kind of came from, or at least one concept. There's also a philosophical point of this. So philosophical perspective, existence and non-existence of the soul. So the point that argues for the existence as an essence of the individual's consciousness, identity, subjective experience, and source of unique individuality and personal identity, aligned with the beliefs in afterlife, reincarnation, or higher realms. I feel like Brian was kind of speaking more for this. Like it is part of you. It's your identity. Your consciousness is your soul, whatever. I don't define it that way, but I understand that way. So there's also a non-existence, which challenges the existence of the soul, proposing it as a product of human imagination, cultural beliefs, and religious dogma, emphasize materialistic and reductionist explanations based on brain function and physical process. So according to this view, the self or the personal identity are emergent properties of the brain and its intricacies with the external world. That's what I believe. It's like our consciousness is something that we have to develop. The more we engage with other things, it kind of widens our consciousness. Right. So if you want to call that an identity or a soul.
Your horizon.
Yes.
More people need to do that more than they actually do.
I think so
There's a
too.
lot of closed-mindedness, especially nowadays.
Yeah, but as humans, our default position is ignorance. It's like we have to be taught to learn, or at least challenge ourselves to learn.
That's a good point.
So it is much like the word spiritual, kind of what I was saying. It's a shaky word. So why would somebody believe in unproven concepts? Lonnie?
Religion.
Because it's comfortable.
I like that.
That's a good answer.
I think a lot of people would rather believe a comfortable lie than a harsh truth.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
Right. They want a simple answer instead of do the work and find out for themselves.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and it goes down to the scenario of people would rather stay in a comfortable situation as well as than leave it and challenge themselves or do something hard or get in a comfortable situation and start over rather than...
It's kind of, I don't know if I want to say the evil type of thing. Yeah. It's like I am familiar and comfortable in this position. I know I can tolerate all this stuff instead of look into the unknown and maybe find out something better or worse. I think that, again, that fear is what kind of holds them to something less than what their potential, I should say. So emotional comfort, one thing. Culture and society influences. Again, religion always has a harsh grasp on a lot of this stuff. It's like when you're taught from a young age, hey, the Santa is real, the Easter Bunny is real, do this. It's like you trust a lot of the stuff that people are saying. The soul is real. You need to protect yourself with this.
You're telling me the Easter Bunny is not real?
It's not.
You motherfucker.
Who brings me my Reese's eggs then?
You think they poop it out?
I thought that's what I was told.
Ooh.
That's why they taste so good.
Bye-bye, Easter Bunny.
There is no Easter Bunny!
People are conditioned to it with religion. Personal experiences. Personal experiences can strongly influence beliefs, even if there is no scientific evidence. Individuals may believe in something based on their own subjective experience or anecdotes. A lot of people trick themselves in thinking like, oh, that's a ghost or it's a spirit or whatever. It's like a lot of these ghost spirits and souls are kind of like
the
grouped
default
together.
of their brain. Like,
yeah. It's like you have this idea in the back of your mind, and now you're going to ascribe it again or assume it, assert it to something that you can't fully understand. It's like something moved. Is this haunted?
That's why these ghost shows are so fucking popular, like Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures and stuff. It's like people immediately, I go into those shows looking at the science behind it. Like, okay, let's debunk this first. And if I can't debunk it, then it's like, okay, what is this?
Right. Yeah.
And I think this personal experience also kind of goes back into the cultural upbringing. So maybe even if you stepped away from certain things, but you are conditioned into certain things, like let's just say religion. Yeah. If religion has painted
we're pointing a lot of fingers at you.
if it painted this figure to you and you still kind of hold on to like this fear or idea or whatever, even though you don't believe it entirely, the trauma can still exist. So maybe say you get into an accident. Are you okay?
Yeah, I said a chill. That ghost touched me.
That's what you get, bitch.
The ghost touched me.
Say if you get into an accident,
that's 100% what it was.
A lot of the times when oxygen is deprived from our brain, we can experience certain things. Like we can see certain things. A lot of people say that they see like there was a white light and Jesus came to me. It's like when you awake,
it looked like my grandma and
when you awake, your brain fills in those gaps.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that. And it's like a lot of people who are conditioned into one religion, it's like the Hindus don't see Jesus and Muslims don't see Vishnu and all this other stuff. It's like they see what they're conditioned to see.
Right.
Or at least they fill in those gaps.
You're telling me it's not real?
Desire for meaning and understanding. Humans have a natural inclination to seek meaning and understanding in the world. So believing in something that is not proven can provide a sense of explanation or an answer to a complex question. Pretty much what it's saying is like, it's an easy answer. They have it solved. They can move on.
I don't need to use my brain.
But it's not. It's a placeholder until something is proven. Confirmation bias. There's so many people who do not challenge their confirmation bias.
You're right. I'm wrong.
Faith and spirituality. Again, I think faith is probably one of the worst things. Holding to something on faith is, faith is pretty much belief of the unknown. Belief in the religious or spiritual concepts. Like many groups like AA, they say you believe that you are nothing without a higher power. To me, this comes off as spouse abuse or mafioso tactics. It's like, you are a piece of shit and you are nothing without me. If I leave, you are...
It's 100% gaslighting.
Yeah. So it's important to recognize that belief in something without proof does not necessarily mean it's true or accurate. Critical thinking, skepticism, scientific inquiry play vital roles in evaluating and understanding the validity of beliefs. So there's also this normalization of certain things, like the Overton window, when something is also brought into the culture or community and we learn to normalize it, it's pretty much shifted its gears and taken over. It's eating it from the inside out. So ideas and even words transcend over time. It becomes a new normal. We hope they tend to provide clarity, but sometimes the vagueness helps people to not be accountable for themselves. Spirituality, soul, all these other words that don't have a concrete meaning or definition, when something can mean exactly what you want, like it robs you of your responsibilities. Like there's certain concepts that are implemented just to try to sort of advance the story. And I feel like in religion, the soul is one of those ones that do that.
You just stop right there, boy. You do not question God's real estate holdings and tax-free status.
Some people ask like, well, if you don't believe it, how can you do this? It's like, it's easy. I'm doing it. Like, do you believe in a Zord? What is a Zord?
The Power Rangers things?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are awesome.
Do you believe in?
I actually just had 2 Amazon Zords or Power Rangers Zords delivered by Amazon today.
Right.
I have the white tiger one and then.
But is it a real thing?
Yes.
What'd you say? Are you being a fucking wise guy with me?
Just like Twin says.
So a Zord is pretty much a device.
So I had to wipe my computer.
Don't Reddit it, by the way.
Oh, you went down that?
Yeah, I went down that rabbit hole.
So a Zord is pretty much a device when called upon, materializes a power suit around a person, giving access to weapons and a robot mech suits and stuff. Or more. Increase ability. What is a Holcrux?
It's where your soul is, like a piece of your soul is, what's the word? I'm like absorbed into an item.
Like impermeates into something.
Permeates, sure, that works too.
Nice.
Like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
As nerdy as that sounds.
But yeah,
we just referenced Power Rangers and fucking Harry Potter, but here we are.
So yeah, their soul or a piece of it is for plans such as resurrection, maybe even avoiding tormentors or being a
my
corrupt
old engagement ring
even
a Horcrux.
Just my guess. Ew.
Horcrux.
But do you believe in a Horcrux?
Hulk? The Hulk one?
Horcrux.
The Horcrux is absolutely real.
A Horcrux. Do you believe in a Horcrux? Is it real?
No, I don't think that is a real thing.
Do you believe in
Although one time I was at Hollywood Candy and they had a bunch of troll dolls. And I was like, dude, troll dolls were sick, dude. It was like little the gem in the belly
you had to take
button
care
and
of them because they were sick.
So I got that troll. I had it for a week. It was literally one of the worst weeks of my life. I thought it was cursed. So I threw it in the river.
And everything got better.
Nice. So, I mean, I have a slight superstition on stuff like that, but does that count as me believing in something like that?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Sure. That's an unbacked belief. And I think you're putting that energy into it as though, or not necessarily energy, but that thought to make it seem as though there's some
superstitious when it comes to
energy.
sports games. Like,
do you have lucky pairs of socks?
No.
Or underwear that you don't change?
But I'll change hats if we're not doing well. Or
why are you going to go to a Braves game with a Penguins hats?
I have 3 Braves hats and 3 Braves jerseys. So if we lose while we're wearing one of them, I'm not going to get the other one. But if we win, I might have to keep that one on.
Muscle Man sports stuff.
Right on. Lonnie.
Yeah.
He's like, John's an idiot. What's
a shining?
What's a shining?
Yeah.
Being able to have multiple mental conversations with someone.
That could be one way. I would an individual ability bestowed upon random people that in a way connects them in one form or another is how I would have defined that. But yes, it is very shaky. But I feel like these sorts of things are just devices to progress a story.
Yeah.
But we can understand the concept, kind of how we can understand the concept of what this sort of. But like what a soul is. It's like we understand it, but we don't have like a belief in it. Like it's not proven. Holcrux ain't real. So it's like these are only creative tools. It's like I don't have a positive belief in these things. They're all made up. Zords, Holcruxes, Shiners, mutant powers, the female orgasm, souls. Like none of this stuff is real.
Speak for yourself.
The G-spot.
What? I'm just saying.
Poor Crystal.
So since religion is the biggest pusher of souls.
She doesn't have orgasms. She's not related.
She just now figured out she was Mexican.
Yeah, she's Mexican.
No, it's only common that many people have a belief in it because since religion is the biggest pusher over it, and religion tries to capitalize on so many things. There's a lot of tradition when it comes to religion that religion has pretty much hijacked and said, hey, this is it. Like marriage. Marriage is a religion. No, marriage was here long before religion was.
Marriage was an institution.
So religion has the knack of taking over the minds, but the concept of a soul is something that's become accepted and normalized. So for poem's sake, I can speak on it. Understand what one might mean when using expressions of the soul. It's wrapped around a conforming belief, and for the most part, it's harmless, but can easily be a tool for trapping depending on one's gullibility. So again, like the religious influences, it is way too simple to make bold-faced assertions. That's something I feel is very dishonest. If you're just going to assert it and not back it, we got the problem. You know, typically I warn people about these things, especially since serious things at face value. It's like, if this is going to determine what my life is going to be like or afterlife is going to be like, shouldn't you come with evidence?
Right.
I believe the Socratic method is your friend.
A ghost told him.
Always question what a thing is and why someone might force, trick, make, or influence you to do something or buy into something. I've made mention many times that I have considered myself Buddhist, more Buddhoic or Buddhist Stoic, but I do not have a belief in like reincarnation either. So it kind of makes me a bad Buddhist, if you want to call that. It's like the concept is cool, but I don't really have a firm belief in it. So when I was in my teens, I kind of went by like a Bodhi Milani, you know, in several Buddhist chat rooms, Bodhi being like a bodhisattva. That's kind of like the person who doesn't transcend, the person who sacrifices whatever to stay and help the people around me. And I still feel like that is kind of part of me. Like, yeah, I'm going to sacrifice my progress so that I can carry that my friends and stuff with me. Anybody who needs help, I'll carve out that time so I can try to help them out. But, you know, when it comes to like nirvana and reincarnation, it's cool. It's a good idea.
Right.
It's a fun story.
Nice
little gimmick.
We don't have access to original biblical writings, all the manuscripts and stuff like that. We have rewrites and
Whose fault is that? Religion.
Interpretations and what a man yelled at us from a hat.
Yeah.
The Sorting Hat? Are we back to Harry Potter again?
He was looking at rocks in a hat, and he's like, "This shit is kicking."
Listen to this, guys. That's what this hat's telling me.
But only I can read it, not you guys.
You can't. You see anything in this hat? No, because you're not the chosen one.
People are like, I fucking believe this guy.
I don't
even
see
though he
anything in the
scammed
hat.
us so many times before. It's like Joseph Campbell? Joseph Campbell? No, Smith. Joseph Smith. Yes.
Did you just say? Did he just say Joe Camel? Like he was referencing a fucking mascot to cigarettes the whole time?
You know Joe Camel? No, not him. Someone less believable.
No, so all right. So all the manuscripts of the Bible have been lost. The oldest books of the Bible are in Hebrew and Greek, and the Greek and Hebrew words for the Latin word of spirit or soul means breath. When we die, we lose our breath. This is what spiritus was supposed to be. It's like when we die, yes, we are no longer breathing. That is the part that they considered what soul was.
And somebody misread it, and they were like, "That's a soul."
We're gonna roll with it.
And then he says, "Hasta la vista, motherfucker." Type it.
Fuck, dude, that's
Believe
like half
this.
the stories on the internet.
And then religion did this
I
thing where
misread
they're
this,
like,
and
if you
now I
don't
told
believe me,
everybody something else.
I kill you. You know, and then they chained a whole group of people and say, hey, you guys believe this? And some people are like, I don't believe this. And they're like, bang, your dad's dead. Okay, now you believe this. And they're like, I believe. And they're like, okay, we're going to teach everybody else this.
Came any worse than the story of, like, what was it, Cain and Abel? And then their first son who seen Joseph's penis. And he's like, brothers, I seen our dad's dick. And they're like, what? And they beat him to death.
Yeah, you're not supposed to see your dad's dick or you'll see die.
Yeah. Religion.
You can see God's ass, though. Remember when he mooned? Was it Moses? I think it was Moses. He had to jump over a mountain. He's like, you can't see me, but you could see my backside. So I'm going to jump over this mountain and just look at my ass.
Yeah.
Or, no, he called it his glory.
The first eclipse.
My glory. So, yeah, as mentioned before in other podcasts, the linguistics of life and breath are closely tied. The soul is translated to spirit, and spiritus means breath. Expiru means to expire, the same word you use when you breathe out. Expire is also accepted to mean die as well. Respiration is sourced from spiritu. If there is expire, then there is inspire. Ex for exit, in for into. When one is inspired, they are spirited, pretty much a pep in their step. Like, oh, this guy is a very spirited person. Not that they have a spirit or a soul. So in Abrahamic religion, the Bible, Quran, and Torah, the first human was breathed life into. So that was their spirit. We have like in Genesis, then the Lord came, formed a man from dust of ground and breathed into the nostrils of breath life. In the Quran, then he proportioned him and breathed into him of his spirit and made for you the hearing, the sight, and the heart. And the Bereshit, is that how you pronounce it? Bereshit?
Bear shit?
Yeah.
There's a bear shit
the
in the
Torah.
woods.
And the Lord God formed man of dust from the ground, and he breathed into his nostrils of soul of life and became a living soul. This is kind of where a lot of that stuff came from. So I have questions. I think we were also kind of hinting at that at the earlier this. What is the soul? We have a definition, but can we verify anything? No, we can't. What is it made of? All dependent on your definitions. Nobody knows. Where is it in the body? Is it in the heart? Is it in the head? Is it in the eyes? Some people say like your soul, you can read somebody by looking in their eyes. I have a belief that you can read somebody by their eyes, but it's not the soul. It's the pretty much human condition that we give off telltale signs from certain gestures, or like where we look away. We read patterns. We're pattern-seeking creatures. It's like typically if somebody's looking up in the left, that means like they're conjuring a story. They're lying. If somebody's looking up and to the right, they're remembering something. Not always true, but is a telltale sign. You usually have to find somebody's baseline if you're trying to read somebody per body language.
I can read her body.
Is the quality of mine better than the quality of yours? Some religions require judgment, and the soul is often the barometer of that. I take more of the MLK approach that man will be judged by his character. I think
Milk approach?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
Martin
I
Luther
literally
King
thought you spelled
Jr.
it, and then I figured out what you said when I heard the quote. Never mind. I'm going to just cut that out.
Even though he was
cut that out.
MLK. MLK.
Cut that out. Cut that out.
Even though Martin Luther King
I noticed
was a pastor, I still believe like his character is what is judged. It's like some people like, oh, you should accept somebody or whatever, or move past it, whatever. Yeah. With the idea of heaven, how come people assume your soul ascends or descends and takes the look of when you died? Like you see some people, like when you go to heaven, you're going to be with your family. Am I going to be looking like this, or am I going to be looking at my prime? Am I going to be a baby? Am I going to be what is my soul going to look like?
Yeah.
Do we have something like that?
Do you want to be your ideal self? Is that even going to be anything like what you look like? Like, is your ideal self a 40-year-old black woman?
Yeah.
That is exactly what I see.
When you look in a mirror, what do you see?
A worthless piece of shit!
Certain strict beliefs say you will spend eternity with your loved ones. If you're married, you return to your spouse. How come if you were remarried, you have to spend it with your first spouse? What if they were a piece of shit? That's why you got divorced.
What if you had a spouse who passed away and then you had another spouse who you love just as much?
If you're not sure. But that's
this is all part of
50% rate at this time.
The Bible also says that no negativity amongst heaven. So if you've ever had a child, a friend, or spouse who did not share your beliefs, their memory will be wiped entirely from your heavenly thoughts. We associate people by their character. So if you associate them with something bad, you have no memory of them now. It's like that's...
Shit, I got no memories at all, man, I guess.
Time. Time is a measurement of life. If souls are eternal, where do they go? How are they being made? Time and space must exist together. No place can exist for no time. It just does not logically follow.
And if you want your Boundless PodTrap soul, just go to Zazzle.com where you can get your soul for 20% off.
Why is it when somebody has a brain injury, like or amnesia, there is a chance they seem to be entirely two different people? Because I hold to consciousness of being an emergent property of the brain, I can't back the religious idea of a soul in cases like this because they wholeheartedly believe themselves to be other people, or at least not recognize their own self. How are you going to be punished? Like if you pay the piper, all that stuff. What are they judging by? What about sets of children, twins, triplets, and so on?
Oh, great.
We're going back to that. No, we're not going back to that. So if a soul is imbued upon birth or conception, is it split? Is there two? Is the essence of each other the same? Are they immaterial pieces? And how does one prove this? You can't. How is people to sell souls to higher or lighter and darker powers, or to companies and people? How can you measure a soul? How come animals don't have souls according to popular religions? Then why do they care about animals anyways? It's like when religious people speak on non-religious people about morality. Like if you don't believe in something, then why do you care? It's like, of course you have morality still. Some people say if you don't have a belief in God, then you can't have morality. Like that doesn't logically follow. That is an assertion, especially when other countries like Sweden, who do not have like a national religion or anything, it's mostly atheists, they do well off. They have a lower crime rate, all this. So how come nothing can inflict it but patterns of ideas? Food you eat, air you breathe, company you keep, nothing can hurt or harm it, yet it's thought to be the fragile at the same time due to ideas you come to. How you think and what you do, that's informed by your decisions. How come nothing else can affect it? It doesn't make any sense. If souls are real and souls are sometimes defined as ghosts, are there ghost mates? Is there a ghost mate?
There's postmates.
That's different. You get delivered.
There's local singles in my area ready to have fun.
That's the biggest lie. That's even worse than religion.
Why do people believe a natural reflex like a yawn or a sneeze is your soul trying to escape your body, or covering your mouth saves your soul? Many people yawn without covering and are no different afterwards. It's like you're the same person, right? See, he didn't cover his mouth.
Nope.
Do you have a soul?
I was staring at you the whole time.
Did you have a soul before?
No.
I don't feel any different.
No,
I was
I don't
staring
feel
at
anything, you.
No.
I just played the game and I was staring at you the whole time and did not yawn.
That's Jason Bourne.
Did you see my soul leave, though?
No, but I was...
I saw your breath. No, I didn't see your breath. But if you were in a cold, I probably would have saw your breath. So some cultures believe taking one picture stills your soul. If you have no soul, could you never find love or be a soulmate?
That's proving true in my...
You got your picture taken as a baby, and now you are void. Don't.
Don't.
And what happened to
the
soulmates?
evidence is showing up why.
What happens to soulmates when you lose your soul? Like if you found your soulmate and you took your picture and your soul got lost, what happens to that? Are they just stuck to somebody who doesn't have a soul?
They look at you and go,
Or is a part of them pulled with it?
I don't know.
As with anything, I prefer clear language, so things are better understood. Words are tools. Language was made for understanding. Vague language muddies the waters. This is what the word soul does. This is what spirituality does. If you assert divine, you must prove divine. If science can't explain it, it does not mean a more spiritual answer is true. This is God of the gaps argument fallacy, a bait and switch. You have no answer, therefore I'm right. This is lazy and dishonest thinking. This is a lot of people assert when it comes to the soul.
That's a lot of people's argument on the internet and just in general.
Yes.
Oh, this makes noise.
oh, shit. I thought I was imagining that.
It's real. That thing has a soul.
This toy has a soul.
Or batteries. Because I understand and allow common vernacular.
Batteries. He's right.
I don't assume the claim of the truth. It's butt.
It literally, her sound comes from her vagina.
So as
don't they all?
John might have said one time, it's a good idea not to be married to your ideas. Right?
Yeah.
You did say that.
Maybe.
I recalled you. Maybe fuck yourself.
maybe not.
I think we all kind of agree with that, right?
Shedding.
Don't be married to your ideas.
Right. It'll end in divorce 50% of the time.
Unless your ideas are your existence.
Yes.
Or your reason for...
Yeah. Well, ideas is one thing. And I think it's even better or even more efficient to not be married to your beliefs.
That's a different story. Ideas and beliefs are different.
Sure. Belief should only be some blurry idea until that idea may become true. Then it's called knowledge. When beliefs are proven, it's knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And we can do things with knowledge. We know what the weather's going to be like tomorrow because of knowledge.
Not Nebraska.
Yeah.
It's a chance. Many people put belief or faith at the highest regard, and I think that it's dangerous. What is your take on faith?
So, I would rather...
Before you go, so faith I feel like is more of a belief, and hope is more of an attitude towards. So I like to use the word hope in place of belief.
Right,
because belief is... Sorry, faith is pretty much belief with no evidence.
Faith is belief with the caveat that you're not going to be able to prove it. Hope is maybe something will go my way to convince you.
Yeah. So I think about like the Jews in concentration camps. It's like, yeah, they survived longer because they had the hope that they would get through it. It's not necessarily faith. Some of them probably did have faith or whatever, or believed in something. But when they witnessed the atrocity, manslaughter and all this other stuff, it's like, oh, when I think that of faith and how dangerous it can be, I think of women's suffrage or even slavery and stuff like that. Right. Because a lot of that stuff was backed because the religion says this type of person has their place here. This type of person has this place here.
Yeah. Faith is dangerous because there is no resolution, where hope there's a chance.
Yes, it's more of an attitude towards. It's not a belief. Like you can have a sense of happiness or whatever, and that is going to be the thing that keeps you alive.
Right.
Because a lot of people, when they didn't have that hope and they just gave up, they just died.
Well, and the thing with faith is generally people who have faith think they've already achieved it. So they don't put really any effort into achieving it.
It's a false idea that they hold on to, a self-righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that helps anybody. I mean, if attack or be attacked, feel like you're stronger than the aggressor or whatever, maybe that can help.
Yeah.
Typically, I guess it could, but it's applying that to control other people. I don't think that's moral.
Yeah. At least people with hope will still give an effort to try to achieve what they're trying.
I actually do like the romance of Soulmates, though.
Aww. Yeah.
Like all the poetry, I mean, it can be something positive to think something like immaterial essence and all this other stuff. Like to have, again, when it comes to like Bible stuff, I think angels are cool. I think, souls could be a cool concept, just like Horcruxes and Zords and female orgasms, all this other stuff that's not.
Poor Crystal.
We like to believe something is more than what it actually is because it makes us feel special or deep. The idea is extremely appealing. To me, the soul and soulmates are only abstract ideas. As a storyteller creator, I love those novel ideas. I can grant most things for poetry's sake. That's it. Going back to Plato's Symposium, he wrote about how his teacher Socrates was taught by Diotima that soulmates shouldn't be the focus. It should be love. And love is not the idea of your other half or something that matches you, but something that inspires you to be the best you can be. That is more the idea I correlate with when it comes to love, soulmates, etc. It's like, don't find somebody who is just like you. Find somebody who makes you want to be the best person that you can be for that person and yourself.
Right. Find the person who completes you, not the person who is like you.
Yeah. Soulmates is...
Because 90% of the time, it turns out that you suck.
And that could not be more true.
Yes. But yeah, soulmates is just another word of saying that you recognize compatibility. That's it. I don't think there's anything spiritual or woo about it. I think people are gullible and find comfort in these things, and I don't have an issue with that until they begin to use certain beliefs to threaten others. Somebody who wants to control your mind, your body, your thoughts, stuff like that. That's what religion does. That steps in. You cannot control...
There you are again, religion.
In conclusion, this is very important. You cannot control what people love, but you can control what they fear. So if you attach the fear of death with the idea of a soul, you can have a better control over others. Death is scary for most people, which makes people desperate and seek comfort. All you have to do is distract them by providing a promise of comfort without ever delivering or proving it, as they do with the concept of a soul. And happy late Valentine's Day with that.
Happy late Valentine's Day.
Yep, that's a longer write out of soulmates. That's pretty much my belief. I feel like we kind of coincide with a lot of that there.
Yeah, good information. I dig it. Can you dig it?
Sucker! All right, want to close that one up?
Yeah.
Wow.
If you guys have any questions, or what are your thoughts of souls? What's something that kind of you might have had a belief in early on, but the more you question it, you kind of like separate yourself from that? I don't know. I'm kind of curious. I like how people progress out of certain things or even into certain things.
Yeah.
I like to know where their mind is.
Different progressions and different views in life, yeah.
Yeah.
What a 21-year-old person thinks about what a 40-year-old person thinks.
Although some 40-year-olds can learn a lot from 20-year-olds too.
Some people with hope still, other than people with just...
It's like, no, it's all dead.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Doom, 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 doom.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, yeah. We'll see you, Nick. We'll see you next week with another rousing topic about...
If Justin records it.
Stuff and things.
Because it is Lonnie's topic, so...
Did you say intercourses?
No, I said if Justin records it because it is Lonnie's topic.
This is right.
And you hate him.
I recorded his last one. Not his last one.
Twice.
I had him... Yes. Sorry, Lonnie.
That's okay. It happens. Stay tuned for the next Boundless PodTrap. If you enjoyed this podcast, well, that's not all. Stay tuned next week for the continuation of this episode, whenever these things come out. Shalom.